and they said that I had blamed my ex-wife for my alcoholism, and that I was trapped in this marriage. Like, just made me out to be like the worst, most insensitive, stupid, awful guy. And look, I know people do this, I get it. Me, I'm happy to be sad Batman. I'm happy to be Dunkin' Donuts and the mean. I understand. Yeah.
I mean, our marriage is the work of love.
Yeah.
What would you have called it in a speech?
A gift. I would have said thank you to my wife. Our marriage is a gift.
I mean, you know, that's one way to go, I guess.
When two people share a deep history, it's hard to escape the memories. But what happens when old flames rekindle in ways you least expect? This seems to be the story playing out between Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, and surprisingly Jennifer Garner. While everyone thought Ben and Lopez were living their fairy tale love story, new reports are suggesting that things might be heading in a very different direction. And now, with Ben's closeness to his ex-wife Jennifer Garner, people are starting to question if Lopez can really handle another blow. After all, it's no secret that Ben and Garner share a deep connection. They spent years together and have 3 children, a bond that has always kept them linked. As Ben handles his current divorce with Lopez, his closeness with Garner could be the major thing that pulls him away from his ex-wife.
I couldn't do any of the things I do without your support. You're my angel, my life, and my world.
When Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez got back together in 2022, it felt like a real-life Hollywood movie. Almost 20 years after their first engagement, everyone was buzzing about bennifer 2.0 becoming a thing again. It seemed like a dream come true, like fate had brought them back together after all that time. But what was supposed to be a sweet second chance at love quickly turned into a wild ride of ups and downs. As romantic as their reunion looked, things weren't as perfect as they seemed. Behind the scenes, it wasn't all smooth sailing, and cracks in their relationship started to show pretty soon after they tied the knot. One of the first big warning signs was the whole $68 million Beverly Hills mansion mess. This wasn't just any house, it was supposed to be their dream home, a sign of their fresh start and blending families. But right from the get-go, Lopez wasn't really feeling the ultra-modern vibe of the place. She went along with it for Affleck, but it didn't match her idea of a cozy home. She has always loved that romantic Spanish-European style, and this mansion just didn't do it for her. Plus, the location wasn't great for Affleck either. His life was in Brentwood, closer to his kids with Jennifer Garner. So instead of being a dream home, it became a symbol of how Ben and Jen's lives weren't quite syncing up. While Ben's second chance with Lopez was making headlines, there was always Jennifer Garner in the background. After his first breakup with Lopez in the early 2000s, Ben found comfort in Garner, and they built a family together. For years, she was his rock, especially during tough times. During their marriage, Garner supported Ben through his struggles with addiction and the pressures of fame. Even after their 2018 divorce, they kept a solid co-parenting relationship, staying close for their kids. Ben has always spoken highly of Garner, saying when you have children with someone you're connected forever, that bond seems to have stayed strong even after their romantic relationship ended. As Ben dealt with his emotional ups and downs, including depression, Garner remained a steady presence in his life. Some reports even say she has been a source of comfort for him during his current marriage troubles with Lopez. It's no secret that Garner holds a special place in Ben's heart, and their connection seems to have gotten better as they raise their 3 kids together. Well, that's why rumors about a reunion between Ben and Garner are getting so much buzz.
Our source says Ben's planning to keep things intimate with close friends and family on his B-Day. His ex-wife apparently a shoulder to lean on during this time by being communicative and understanding for Ben. She's there for him every step of the way, and given the involvement of their kids, she's very supportive. Jen also respects his private and personal life and doesn't get too involved.
For Jennifer Lopez, hearing about this alleged reconnection between Ben and Garner must feel like a punch in the gut. After all the effort she has put into making her marriage with Affleck work, seeing him drift back to his ex-wife has to hurt. Reports also say that Lopez is heartbroken over this news. For her, it might feel like deja vu, but this time she's the one left in the dust. She fought hard to reignite the spark with Ben, only to see him reconnect with the woman who was once his rock during their years apart. It's a painful reminder that sometimes history really does repeat itself. Meanwhile, Lopez recently dropped Affleck from her name, which could mean she's ready to move on. After taking on Ben's last name following their 2022 wedding, she quickly went back to her maiden name as news of their marital troubles came out. This isn't just a name change, it's a statement. By shedding the Affleck name, Lopez is reclaiming her identity amid the chaos of her personal life. For her, this might be the first step toward healing and moving past yet another heartbreak.
Your lovely husband, Ben, was just here.
I know, he had a great time.
And he's doing the Batman movie, so we asked him some questions and he kind of diverted every answer to you. So have you seen him in costume?
Yeah, lots.
Really?
Lots.
Yeah.
Now, does he wear it home?
Oh my gosh. I couldn't, it takes a team to get it off. I couldn't, I mean, if we were in the heat of passion, I would be like, let me get a chainsaw. I don't know. I don't know how to get it off.
When the news about Ben Affleck possibly reconnecting with Jennifer Garner was revealed, everyone went wild. Fans had a lot to say too. Some were excited about the thought of Affleck and Garner getting back together. For many people, Garner symbolizes stability and support. People remember her as the one who stood by him through thick and thin. As soon as the rumors started, social media was flooded with posts celebrating the possibility of them rekindling their romance. A person commented saying, "Beautiful friendship between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. They have so much love for their children." Another one added, "In a relationship, both people need to compromise. J.Lo didn't listen to Ben and respect him enough to not put everything out to the public. That issue alone is enough to break Ben's trust." So, this rumored reconnection puts Jennifer Lopez in a tricky spot. But if there's one thing we know about her, it's that she is tough. While this situation is definitely painful, Lopez has faced heartbreak before, and she always comes back stronger. There are already whispers about what she might do next. Some reports say she's diving into her work, with new projects on the horizon. But then there's also the love theories. Lopez has never stayed single for long, and fans are already guessing who her next romantic interest might be. But this time, there's talk that she might take a break from dating and focus on herself. After everything with Ben, maybe reclaiming her independence is just what she needs right now. Looking back at Lopez's journey, it's clear she's had her fair share of ups and downs in relationships. From her marriage to Mark Anthony to her on and off romance with Affleck, her love life has often been in the spotlight. But each time, she has shown strength in moving forward. This time will probably be no different, and fans are excited to see how she handles this latest chapter. As for Ben and Garner, the big question is what's next. Right now, their so-called reunion seems to be all about their kids. Both Affleck and Garner have stressed how important co-parenting is to them, and they have always put their children first despite their personal differences. They have set a solid example of how exes can work together for the family. But fans are curious if there's more to it. Is this reunion just about the kids, or could Ben and Garner be reknitting their romance? Their connection has always been strong, and some insiders think Affleck's emotional struggles might have drawn him back to Garner, who's been a steady support in his life. And what about Garner? She has stayed classy and quiet, never adding fuel to the tabloid's fire. In past interviews, she has talked about the importance of family and how tough it was to end their marriage. Still, she has always been protective of Ben, showing that despite their differences, she'll always be there for him as a co-parent and friend. Well, what a wild ride this whole Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, and Jennifer Garner situation has turned out to be. It's way more than just your typical Hollywood romance. We're talking about a story packed with history, heartbreak, and the ups and downs of relationships that have lasted for years. And the big question is, can anyone really move on from their first love? Ben and Garner have a long history together, co-parenting and dealing with life's curveballs. Even though they've been apart for a while, it's clear there's still some kind of connection there. As for J.Lo, this has got to be a tough time for her. She has built her whole career on hard work and bouncing back from setbacks, so even if she's feeling heartbroken now, we know she'll find a way to rise again. Whether she focuses on her independence, jumps into new projects, or finds love again, you can bet she'll tackle it all with her usual fire. And then there's Garner, who's kind of a wild card in this whole thing. It's hard to tell, but it's clear that Affleck can't seem to stay away from her. No matter what happens next, though, her kids will always be her top priority. Now, we would love to hear what you all think. Do you guys believe that Ben and Garner are meant to be, or do you think Lopez deserved better? Drop your thoughts in the comments.